Good morning. I'm Terry Hogan. I'm from Louisiana, and today we're gonna do American style barbecue using rub instead of marinating. We're gonna cook everything from raw. First of all, we're gonna mix up our seasoning, and then I'll show you guys how we use our dry rub for our different meats. Okay, I find the best dry rub for me, and I've been doing this for a few years, is just two ingredients: steak seasoning and chicken seasoning. That's all you need just for starters. I use some extra stuff to give it extra flavor. Like I'll use this maple. Gives it a little smoky, sweet taste. But like I say, to start with, all you need is beef and chicken seasoning. Okay. I like the low sodium stuff because obviously it's going to be quite salty if you use the all salted ones. So try to get low sodium if you can. And then all you do is just mix it in. And you can actually start to smell the aroma. I know you can't, but this is how you're gonna know that it's gonna be a nice rub. You can actually smell it before you even put the seasoning on the chicken and the steak and the ribs. Actually, it'll go on any meats. This seasoning, it's not tailored to just chicken. It's not tailored to just steak. You can use it on pork. You can even use it in your Sunday roast. Okay, now what we do is we put it back in the jars. James will help me out here while I'm over here. Okay, once we get it in the jars, now these are the meats that we're gonna work with today. Now you wanna cook your longest cooking meat first. So you wanna season up your ribs, and I like to cook from raw. So this is a slab of ribs. We're gonna do 3 of these today. And then we're gonna move to chicken. Obviously you see my gloves. The reason for the gloves is each meat, you have to handle it on its own. It's very important not to cross-contaminate the bacteria between each meat. And then we're gonna work on chicken. And then steak. We have here is what's called a London broil. What we do with this steak is we'll jacquard it. If you don't know what that means you get it and you take it out of pack and you take a fork and you just literally stab it to death. Okay? And try to get every centimeter that you can stabbed. Turn it over and do the same thing. And then season it up with the dry rub, and then it's ready. And then lastly, the sausages. These are raw, so be careful when you're handling raw sausages as well. Like I say, all of this meat is raw, so just be careful. There's no seasoning on these. You just throw them on the grill and go. So to recap, you want to start with the meat that's going to take the longest, which is the ribs, then your chicken, and your steak, depending on how you want to cook it. The ribs will take about an hour to an hour and 5 minutes to do, and then the chicken takes about 45 minutes. But you got to make sure that you got a pretty decent grill outside. 250 is where you want it to be when you're cooking all of these meats. And then we're gonna move to the steak, which takes the least amount of time. And then what we do is we cook it till it's medium rare, if possible. Then we bring it in and we slice it up real thin. Oh, by the way, on the ribs, once we get them done, what you want to do is you want to let them rest. because the grill, it tightens the meat up. So you put them in a pan. They'll continue to cook while they're in the pan, covered up with foil. And then as it sits there and cools down, it'll loosen up. And then when you cut it and eat the meat, it should pull off cleanly from the bone. Shouldn't stick, it just pull off clean. You'll have a clean bone on that. Okay, like I say, I like cooking my meat from raw. It's just how I was raised to cook it. Then you want to take your seasoning and literally just put it on as literal as possible, you know. And all we want to do after that is just roll it up. And set her off to the side. Okay, now that all of our meat is ready, now we're gonna go out, get the grill started, and give you guys some safety tips and how to start a good grill, okay? So now we're gonna get our grill started. The thing to know about grills is if the ambient temperature outside is really high, your grill is gonna run hot. If it's cool like today, that's great. And once you put your charcoal on your grill, you want to put some lighter fluid on it. Now, put it on literally, a nice coating of it, and let it sit for a couple of minutes. Okay, don't fire it up right away because the fluid on top of the charcoal will burn off and it won't fire your charcoal up. So if you let it sit for a second or two, a minute or two, then you're okay. Hey, Maddie. And what you want to try to find, if you can, is odorless, tasteless lighter fluid. That way it won't ruin your meat and you have that lighter taste to it. And like I say, just put it on literally. Don't be scared because you're not going to fire it up right away. Give it a chance to soak in to the charcoal. I know it looks like it's overkill, guys, but it's not, trust me. Been doing this a long time. There's two ways to start it. You can start it from the bottom up, or you can put it on top. It doesn't matter which way you do it. Like I say, if you wait long enough, you see it doesn't poof, you know, on you. It just burns nice and even. All right. And while you're doing this, what's happening is your meat is continuing to marinate. And what you want to do is get your grill nice and warm. Another tip for cooking: do not wash your grills in soap and water during the season. When the season is over, then you can take them out, wash them, spray them with some oil, cooking spray or something, and stick them in like a bin liner or something to But I cook all year round, so rain or shine. Now make sure you got a nice sharp knife, and what you want to do with your beef is you want to slice it real thin. See, it's nice and perfect. So, yeah, the thinner the better. Sometimes I wish I had one of those shavers like they got in that or the kebab slicer. Yeah. Okay. And see, that's nice and thin. So if you want to try that.
Oh, you try it, because I've got on filming.
No, you're fine. Okay, so today I showed you guys how to do the seasoning, how to do your dry rub, how to start, doing your seasoning on the meat that will take the longest, i.e. the ribs, and then the next chicken. I showed you guys how to get your grill started, and then we went through a couple of procedures on that, and then how you use your water on the grill to keep the flames down and keep your meat moist. And lastly, we brought the meats in and showed you how to carve them up, especially the London broiled steak and the ribs. Now, all that's left to do is wait for your guests to arrive. I put the meat in the oven on really low heat because I don't really want the meat to cook anymore, but just to stay warm for the guests. Once they come in, we'll set it all out and let everybody dig in. So good luck, and I hope your barbecue comes out as good as mine. All right, see you later.